All right, it's 135 to beat Miami's new up one for hip hop, R&B, and the Breakfast Club. Fabolous is in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's good, brother?
What's up, my G?
First of all, I just want to give you like maximum respect. I feel as though like I've been in the game for a minute, you know, doing my radio thing.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And we in this game of radio have seen people come and go, and come and go.
Definitely.
And I want to say that like if there was an award for the most consistent artist ever in hip hop, I would love to give you that award, brother.
Man, that's a tribute to you know, you staying down, and you know what I mean, and also as the game, you know, changes, you know, you being able to adapt to it. So, you know, I take that as a high.
How do you do it though, my G? Cause
ain't
like,
no recipe to it though,
right,
really.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like what works for some people might not work for another person. You know what I mean? For me, my two main things was staying me, you know what I'm saying? Throughout the changes of the game and everything switching up, I stayed me, but also just adapted to it too. Like, you know what I mean? It's not as things do change, you do gotta like, all right, let me see how I can put myself in this space, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I pretty much do, you know what I mean? I stay who I am, but I also make sure that I'm adapting to what's going on around me.
On top of your longevity in the business, your consistency in the business, I would say like you and Fat Joe have something really special when it comes to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the respect that you get from your peers too. You know what I mean? You're in the rooms with the Diddy's and the Jay-Z's and you know everybody who's done it on major levels and they want you in that room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have your own place in that room.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, have you ever, like, I know you moving and shaking in this business, but have you ever, like, taken a moment to really reflect on, like, your life in this game?
Truthfully, it's not a lot of time to reflect. You know what I mean? It's like you got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the ball rolling. So, you know, definitely, you know, those are guys that, you know, I came in the game looking up to. So to have their respect is tremendous. You know what I mean? That's what you want to. You want to come in. You want to do your thing. You want to make your peers, you know, respect you. You want to make the OGs respect you. You know what I'm saying? You even want the young guys to respect you as well for what you do. So, you know, I think I'm one of the guys that kind of bridge that gap, so to say. You know what I mean? Where I'm, you know, not completely all the way on this side and I'm not on this side. So, you know, I'm there and I get a lot of love and respect, and I appreciate that, you know what I mean, so from wherever it comes from. You know
Holla Back, Youngin', Breathe, joint with Tamia. I mean, you've given us so many classics along the way, and I feel like, you know, you just kind of like spoon feed us these joints, but they last throughout, you know what I mean?
I definitely come from that era, too, where, you know, the music that you was making, you put a lot into it, so it was like, that's how I think. A lot of the music from the 2000s, the 90s, 2000s, the early 2000s, you know, those made those classic hits, those classic radio records, you know what I'm saying? And I was lucky enough to come in at that time and, you know, take all the, you know, all of the juice and all of the vibes and all of the gems and everything that was from that era, you know what I'm saying, and be able to continue to use them today, you know what I'm saying?
I've been able to brag about you as well because as a kid coming from Brooklyn,
shout out to Brooklyn one time.
Always.
Always gotta
as
let
a kid
fly.
coming from, you know, like Crown Heights, like your metaphors has always been like where you bodied everybody, you know what I'm saying? And then now looking, you know, at other artists who've come, you know, after you and who are kind of leading in the game metaphorically in a sense. Like, you know, I'm not comparing you, but like if I had to say, I would say like the Drakes and the Big Seans and the people because you've been kind of like established that.
Definitely. That's
like a style almost that you always had.
That's definitely always been a part of my style, like, you know, in my flow. And like you said, it's for me, it was like that was the part of being me, you know what I'm saying? Being Fab, you're going to look for certain things from certain artists. So when you look at Fab, you're like, yo, he going to give me some wordplay. He going to give me some metaphors. He might make me say, ooh, that line right there was crazy. You know, that became my thing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the guys. And I love that. I'm a fan of that as well. So not even just me, like you said, Drake's and Big Sean's and, you know, all the guys that have that style. Like, you know what I mean? I'm listening and paying attention too. You know what I mean? So,
and enjoying it the same way. So Summertime Shootout 3. Like this is now like you haven't released the album in a while.
Yeah.
So tell me like what what was your thought process, putting out this body of work, and why did you feel like now was the time?
Well, I put out 2 mixtapes. This is part 3,
Yes.
so this is like the 3rd installment of this mixtape series. And the first 2 was through like the mixtape sites and stuff like that. But now what you see, like what I talked about adapting to the game, is that everything's went digital. So it's more like the streaming services and the and all of the digital platforms that are having music, even down from YouTube and all of that stuff. Like what I wanted to do was usher my way in, but I wanted to use the mixtape series where kind of curated a base, curated people knowing what the project was about,
right,
and bring them over to this digital platform. And I thought it would be a good idea. Also, just even down from coming out on the holidays, that was a thing that I always did. So I wanted to bring that back.
Yeah.
And have people, people at home at that time. You get to wine, you get to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After Thanksgiving, you might have just finished turkey and football, and now you just want to wind down and you pop in some music, or even if you want to get away from some relatives, that came over for the holidays, you go in the other room and pop in some music. So I just was trying to provide a vibe for that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it was more about when I say like adapting to the times too, was just taking what you already been doing and adapting it to now.
That's genius, because if you look at it, that's like really you're doing things full circle, because to me you kind of came out on the mixtape tip with the clue and everything. So to handle it this kind of way was kind of like genius, you know what I mean? And
mixtapes now are like playlists.
Yeah.
The playlists are the mixtapes, basically, what I meant to say actually. So the playlists, whether you make them or Apple makes them or Tidal makes them, like it's kind of like a mixtape flow of songs that you just, sonically vibe through. You know what I'm saying? Talking
about that, my show producer Annie wants to know, when will she get another soul tape?
Oh, man. I've been trying to figure out, like I said, I try to do these tapes like in 3s. So, but I do got an idea to bring this, since the soul tape never was an actual like digital project or project, it was only in the mixtape form. I do got an idea that I'm gonna do, but I can't put it out there yet because it's not ready. And in this era, you can't say nothing until you're ready to. They're gonna troll you. They're gonna hold you to it. They're gonna see you in the streets, run down on you.
She's one of them. Trust me.
Right? You know what I mean? She'll be like, "Where's my soul tape?" Like you told us on Papa Q's show that you like. I don't want nobody. I don't want no smoke. So when it's ready, I'll get y'all. You know what I mean?
Listen, on this album, man. I mean, the lineup of artists that you invited to collaborate with you. You've collaborated so well for other people. First of all. Like when you hit the assist on somebody's work, I mean, you deliver.
Right.
And then when I got the list of artists that you allowed to work with you, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Meek Mill, A Boogie, Tory Lanez, Davido, Chris Brown, Roddy Ricch. And, was there any thought process on who you chose to work with on this project?
Well, a lot of it, I wanted to work with a lot of the guys who, not all the way super young, but some of the next generation of stars and the next generation of guys who make music that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the Meeks and the Durks and A Boogie and Roddy Ricch and some of the guys are fresh and brand new. Like Roddy Ricch, I kicked it with him recently in L.A. He had his first birthday party for his 21st birthday, and he's like, "Yo, man, I ain't used to having parties, man. I don't throw parties."
Right.
And I'm like, "Man, you better get used to it." You know what I'm saying? Because with success comes some parties. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Yeah, I could dig it." You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, "Yeah, just keep going." You know what I'm saying? Like even this is your first. There's a lot of things that's gonna be your first, but I'm sure it won't be your last. You know
what do you think it is about you that you really like? I mean, I know we just kind of talked about it already, but it just amazes me how you can transcend so well between the different artists. Like again, you hang with Jay, you can hang with Roddy Ricch. You're relatable to both of them, and you can work with both of them. Man,
it's I don't know. I think it's somewhere in between. I become like the guy who bridges the gap a little bit, and even musically or fashion wise or whatever they connected to, what I mean, it kind of just bridges the gap. I remember somebody told me, excuse me, somebody told me that they was listening to like a Fab playlist and it went from like Bow Wow to the Lox. It was like, yo, how can you feature with Bow Wow and then the next song come on, you was featured with the Lox, and that was, I even looked at it. I was like, damn, that's like a nod to my diversity. You know what I'm saying? Facts. To me being able to cater to different worlds, because a lot of artists can do that, you know what I'm saying, or a lot of artists can't make radio records and make mixtape records.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So it's a lot of things that I've been able to do, and fortunately they've worked for me, and people accept me from different ways.
Talking about that, you mentioned fashion, and I do have to give you credit for that too. As far back as the basketball jerseys, which are coming back around again now because the baby's rocking a lot of basketball jerseys. Those are things. You took a lot of the New York, Brooklyn
Everything
swag.
come back full circle too, though. You know what I mean?
Because remember we still have the Gucci,
all
and
of
the
that
lettering.
come back. All of that come back.
But I saw you too. Funny enough, you were traveling somewhere. I don't know if it was Dubai or somewhere out there, and you took a picture and your luggage and everything, you was just swagged out heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I just always like to be, I don't even, the whole word fashion, I just like to be, I think fashion really embodies how you like to look and your comfort. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's comfortable to you. I don't think, some people try to box fashion where you got to look like this to be fashionable. And I don't really dig that. I really feel like, whatever your style is and what works for you and, certain things that make you feel good about yourself. It's like when you get a new pair of kicks, like you got a different walk with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really down to that to me. It's really down to comfort and what makes you feel good. You know
but
what I mean?
It plays such a role in our life too, because even I remember when I was going to school in Brooklyn, it was all about low. Low lives, D-steps. Everybody used to wear polo, all day, every day. And
what I will say is about what you look, it's your first representation of yourself.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like before you say a word, sometimes people just look at you. You know what I'm saying? And then everything that comes from after that is after that. But if you got on your outfit that you put yourself in, like your vibe into, people will get they see how you dress, they know how you are. You know what I'm saying? So I think I attribute that to fashion. I attribute like it speaks for you too. You know what I mean? Yeah,
your range is amazing, brother. From slow jams to faster songs to songs that motivate.
We got
the
all
woman.
that on the Shootout 3 too. I'm still showing y'all. I'm doing all that. We got radio. We got some personal joints on there. We got some just spitting mixtape fab field joints on there. We got some radio joints on there. We got everything, man. Like, and that's kind of like where I wanted it to vibe. Like I wanted it to just be a vibe where you could keep going through the joints like it's a playlist. You know what I mean?
Well, I know Bombs right now with Jeremiah. And DeVito is like,
and Choosy. That's like
that's
she
like loves Choosy. Well, what I couldn't understand because I thought y'all let that out first and then y'all pull back on it.
Nah, we let Choosy go first, and then we had Bombs actually became after it because I wanted to like show people like, all right, mixtape fab is still here too. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Choosy's such a good vibe, and it's like it's something where I wanted to do something different. I wanted to connect internationally. And I also just wanted the first record to not be something that you already just expected from me. I wanted you to be, whether you felt it was good or bad, or whether you felt like this is different, it's still, when something is different, it catches your attention.
Facts.
So that's what the point, that was what our point was with putting that out. And then, Moms came after it because I'm like, all right, I don't want my core and my people who really, listen to this think I went left.
Right.
So we gave it there. But Choosy is growing.
But it works because people are playing both.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like I said, internationally it's a huge record, and I just did a bunch of drops for a lot of African radio stations because the record was growing so much there, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to DeVito, he's on the record, you know what I mean? He put that vibe in there, and I shot the video in Cape Verde.
Dope.
Off the coast of Africa. So, you know what I mean? Like we even down to there, we met the people there, met the Prime Minister there.
That's when I seen the outfit and the luggage. You were in Cape Verde. Now it come full circle. That was exactly it.
Word.
Hey, listen, Fab, again, man, this is an honor. I'm happy to have this opportunity to not just to interview you and to talk about what you got coming out, and definitely have everybody to support and my audience and my fans know, like, when it comes to artists like this and artists that I mess with, I encourage y'all to buy it. Streaming is aight, but like, if you really support an artist, buy it. Like I'm buying it. I'm buying it for my team. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do when we support artists. We buy their music. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm encouraging everybody that when it drops on that Black Friday to go out.
Papa Keith said so. You know what I mean? No other reason, because he said so. Go
Big
get
facts,
that.
Man. Go get Summertime Shootout 3. Continued success, brother. And I'm just, again, I was going to say that I'm happy to have the opportunity to tell you how great I think you are, bro.
Thank you, man.
And thank you for repping like my hometown and everything that you do. You make me and so many people proud.
It's Brooklyn forever.
Yeah.
I don't care where we go. You know what I mean? I go to Japan. I go to Australia. I say it's Brooklyn in the house. Somebody one hand.
Yeah.
I don't care where you go. It's one Brooklyn in the house. So
definitely, man. But thank you so much, man.
Always,
we appreciate what you've done for the music industry, man, and continue success.
Thank you.
And Black Friday is out, man. We've been waiting.
Yes, sir.
Summertime Shootout 3.
Yes, sir.
Pick it up. Do not stream it. Buy it. Show the real love to the artists that you really support, man. That's how they can really continue to be successful and continue to do what they do and deliver the music, man. So y'all go and cop that on a real level, all right? Fabolous.
Thank you, man.